Hi everyone, Marcia Grace here. It's Friday and it's a beautiful day here. Beautiful. The sky is totally clear blue, and I just decided to come outside and I share the beautiful day with you. So, everything begins with a thought, as you hear me always say. And that's important because today I want to talk about the fact that you have no idle thoughts, no thoughts that are, unimportant, shall we say. Every thought that you have produces either peace or chaos in your mind. It's one or the other. There's nothing in between. So, and I can't stress how important this is to know. So that's why we have to notice our thoughts, because what we tend to do, and this is psychologically true, is we tend to deny the thoughts, just kind of push them away out of our awareness that we don't like, they're causing us distress. So we kind of either push them away, so we think we're not thinking about them or they went away, or we minimize them. We say, it's not so bad. Other people have it worse. I can live with that, and so forth. And then we don't do anything about the things that are concerning us. So this is not helpful, obviously. But it also stresses the fact that we really don't take into consideration how important these thoughts that we're having are. So, because especially when you're having fear-based thoughts. Why do I say that? Because every thought produces an effect. Now follow me. We tend to think that we see something and then, we respond to it. That's the tendency that's what we believe living here on planet Earth. The fact of the matter is, wouldn't you know, that always happens. So every thought produces an effect. That's where I was. And it has the effect based on what you believe, what is deep within you, what you believe is true for you at the moment. And that changes, right? Because we're always changing our minds about things. But when we're not in touch with our inner wisdom, our thoughts are going to reflect usually some sort of fear-based idea. And so we'll look out on the world, and what do we see? We see trouble, we see pain, we get into fights with people because we think that they don't like us or that they're angry with, or whatever. We make stuff up. That's what we do. We make everything up based on our beliefs. So if your belief is that people are basically good, this is my belief, people are basically deep in their hearts good, because we're all spiritual beings, right? So when you bring out your spirituality, you're going to demonstrate, those fine characteristics of being spiritual, which means being open-minded, being compassionate, being loving, being being willing to listen to other people and hear what they have to say before you jump to some conclusion. So these are the kinds of things that when you're listening to your inner wisdom, you're gonna naturally do. On the other hand, if you're not in touch with that inner wisdom, as I said before, you're going to perceive a scary world, because now you're in a conflict state. Your mind is in a conflict state between concern for something and how do I protect myself, and what are they trying to do, and what do I need to do to stop that, whatever. There's just this constant conflict and all kinds of crazy thoughts going on. So that's what we project out there, and that's what we see. And then what is our life like? Our life corresponds to that kind of thinking. Things break down, you get sick, someone else gets sick, you see troubles in the world, you find all the things that are going to match up with your state of consciousness. So, and let me give you an example of this. Back in the 1960s, so you see I'm really dating myself. Back in the 1960s, there were a lot of, there were quite a few TV programs that were based around courtroom dramas, and I think the most famous one was Perry Mason. I used to watch that with my mom, and And so there would be this courtroom drama, right? And people would come and get on the stand, and they would tell, what they had seen, whatever the case was. And it was, to me, very interesting, although I really didn't get it at the time, is that different people would get up on the stand and they swore on the Bible, this is the truth, this is what they saw, right? I mean, so if they saw it, everybody else who was there would see the same thing, right? But that wasn't so. Because one person would say, oh, I saw a thin man running away. And the other person would say, no, I saw a woman running away. Or I saw, I don't know, something else entirely, a dog, who knows? What? I saw something else. And today when I think about that, it makes me realize that the reason people can be in exactly the same location at exactly the same time and having the same circumstances, right, because they're all there together at the same time, will see different things. And it's based on the belief system of that person. That's why, okay? So expand that notion to every part of your life, because everything we see is based on our beliefs. The beliefs are the thoughts we have in our mind about who we are, who the people around us are, how we negotiate through life, what things are good for us and what things are not good for us. And boy, do we get that one wrong. So these are all the things that are what we experience because it's part of our belief system. So we're going to see those beliefs carried out in our experience in some form. All right. So that's really what I want to get to today. I want you to be really, really aware of what you're thinking. Again, don't deny when you get a thought that's uncomfortable. Sit with it, live with it. Let it come out so that you can examine it and see where it's coming from. Why is it there, and what can you do about it? Because once you know you're doing it, then maybe you can do something about it. You can, absolutely. You can bring it to your higher self, and it'll tell you what to do. But you can also have this sense of open-mindedness and freedom to explore new avenues of your life and not live in this static state of it has to be this way, this is how I am, and I can't change. Because if that's where you're coming from, you're in for a lot of pain and suffering is all I could say. So don't do that. All right? Don't do that. So that's it. I want you to think about your thoughts and examine the ones that are causing you distress because you don't want to stay there. And you can do this. And if you need help, you know where to find me. Just give me a DM and send me your email, and I'll put you on my list. You'll get more information because on August 21st, by the way, I will be doing a webinar, and I am going to discuss the importance of understanding the characteristics of a spiritual being, the characteristics of you as a spiritual being, because we all are spiritual beings, as I think I pointed out. We're all spiritual beings, except nobody teaches us that. So I'm here to tell you that and to assure you that you can develop the characteristics that, just like anything else, right? You start as a child, you learn little things, and you get better at it as you go along. And so same thing with developing our spirituality. Once we know what our goal is, where we want to get to, and what we want to achieve, we can work toward it. But you have to know what that is, right? And we need teachers. We need people who've been there before us who can show us the way. So that's what I'm here for. And please just give me a DM and have a beautiful, beautiful rest of today and the weekend and the week ahead until next time. Bye-bye now.